Racing to the 2020 Breeders' Cup, let's get a Saratoga daily update. The Whitney nominations have been released, and of course this year's Whitney is going to be on Saturday, August the 1st, just a little over a week away now. And about 16, 17 horses nominated. I thought I'd take a look at some of the top contenders for the Whitney, trying to kind of weed out who is going to actually run in the Whitney and who's still a possibility and on the fence. Starting off with likely race favorite Tom's Detat. 4 straight wins, a couple of grade 1s, and he is looking like the top older division horse right now. Interestingly enough, he's really not proven at 1.25 miles, and I see some people ranking him at the top of their Breeders' Cup Classic rankings. He may be the best older horse, he may be the best horse in training right now, but I'm just not sure he's going to be able to hold that together at the age of 7 all the way up to the Breeders' Cup Classic and attempt to go 1.25 miles. And I'm not even sure if they're going to run him in a 1.25 miles race before the Breeders' Cup Classic. Tom's Detat, 7 years old, running better than ever. Stephen Foster win the last time out. By my standards, allowed Tom's Detat to get the lead off a little bit of a slower fractions. Didn't really pressure him, made a move going into the turn, but Tom's Detat ran too well that day for by my standards to catch him. I think he's capable of better than an effort than that. He's been working out 2 straight workouts now. I think we'll see him in the Whitney Stakes. Warrior's Charge comes off a Met Mile finish, set all the fractions that day before, kind of chased those fractions with Vacoma on the front end, and I think Warrior's Charge, ran well in that race. He's one of those tweener horses. 1 mile's a sharp cut for him. 1.1 miles, maybe a little bit too long for him unless he can slow down the fractions. But he definitely has the class level, and I would like to see him run in the Whitney. Tacitus, the big facile victory the last time out in the Suburban. He was the class of the field. He faced grade 3 horses. Tacitus is a true 1.25 mile horse, and that September 5th Woodward with the same weekend as the Alysheba Stakes at Churchill Downs. It'll be interesting to see if Tacitus runs in both the Whitney and then the Woodward, because I think in the Woodward at 1.25 miles, he'd be 3 to 5 in that spot, and not a lot of competition for the grade 1. Meanwhile, the Whitney, it would be a grade 1, but he's have to face some other sharp speed horses. I think Tacitus might just pass on the Whitney. Mr. Buff, the New York bred, of course, he found out the last time the deep waters in those grade 1 races. He's good in restricted New York races. Hopefully we'll see him in a New York bred race. Mr. Freeze, the Met Mile was too sharp for him and the class too tough. I think we'll probably see him in the Alysheba Stakes at Churchill Downs. McKinzie, a better than looked effort, 5th place in the Met Mile. He had a wide trip that day. Race flow didn't really help him, and he was involved in a 4-horse scrum for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place spot. McKinzie, either the Whitney, or maybe he'll go to a race like the Woodward or the Alysheba, which he won in 2019. Improbable worked out over the weekend. It's basically a toss-up. Is he going to run the Whitney, or is he going to wait for that Pacific Classic? I think they want to have the answer to see how Maximum Security does in the San Diego handicap. If Maximum Security destroys horses like Higher Power and Midtown in that race, Midcourt in that race, I think we'll see him possibly in the Whitney. He had a 7-furlong workout in 1:24.4 over the weekend. Code of Honor off that Met Mile prep. He should be ready to go, 3rd off the bench. He should be tough in the Whitney. And then Bodexpress, everybody's favorite YouTube star, he had an issue on Monmouth Cup morning, so he is now going to point and nominate to the Whitney Stakes. Distance should be good, and it'll be interesting where Bodexpress fits in that. He had a better than look effort in the Pegasus Stakes, but that was not as good of a quality field this year. That's a look at some of your Whitney nominations, August the 1st. Remember, hit subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications, and share this horse racing video with all your horse racing friends as we lead you through the Saratoga meet and up to the Breeders' Cup 2020.